G'day guys, how are we? So, in this video, we're going to be working on the car that I have been personally very excited about working on and getting up to the standards I would like to see it at. And that is my E46 BMW. So if you guys already didn't know, I own a 318i BMW E46. The thing is a little bit around the edges, as in it's got lots of scratches, lots of dents, lots of clear coat peeling. Definitely not in the best condition, but it has awesome potential. I'm really excited to get this car to where I can, like, I guess, imagine it, which is starting with fixing it. So I'm gonna catch you guys up what I've done off camera. Hasn't been much, but I'll show you guys anyways. So off camera, I have gone and replaced this little dongle here. I'm gonna put the name just here because I can't remember off by heart. I think it's like a CVV or something like that. And it is basically fixed my idle, well, has fixed my idle. I also replaced one more vacuum line just down here, and that has made the idle, like, I mean, perfect. So the car is amazing to drive, like everything on it is like immaculate, like when it comes to running wise. So I'm ridiculously happy with that. I've also gone and had to pull apart that gasket I did in one of my last videos. And I had to replace like the return ring. It's just a little O-ring that's gonna go over the return part. So I had to replace that, but that didn't take long. So now there is absolutely zero oil leaks, which I'm ridiculously excited about because that was a nightmare. And yeah, I've taken a proper drive of it, taken it proper places and everything, and yeah, literally zero oil leaks, which is awesome. That brings us on to this video. So in this video, we're going to be doing something to do with these bad boys. These are our lower control arm bushings. I don't know the actual proper name for it. I think it actually is probably just called lower control arm front bushings or something. Basically with these things, it goes all the way down to the front and hooks up to the front lower control arms. And it's just a bushing that makes it so the car doesn't move backwards and forwards basically. So to know if you've got this type of problem, which I big time do, like they're absolutely horrible. Sammy keeps telling me to replace them, which is my mechanic. So that's what I'm gonna do. So to know if you've got that problem, on the highway, I personally notice it the most. It's when I go over some sort of little bump or something, the whole steering wheel will just start to like move and it feels like the front end is just so light and just like almost on ice, I guess. It's not a good feeling, it feels horrible. So that needs to be replaced ASAP. That's going to cause me some proper strife. But first, I'm going to do a trip to Bunnings and buy a tool I've needed for a very long time. So let's go do that first. Are we ready for the welder diff sounds? You probably can't really hear that well on camera, but yeah, she's pretty brutal. Far out. Best part of this car? She's got central locking. What a beast. Australia's most iconic store. Nope, scratch that. Bunnings did not have it. So time to cross the road and go to a different place. All right, we got what we wanted, which is this thing right here. It's not actually made for what we're gonna be using it for. It's a gear puller, so it's meant for, I really don't know, to be honest. Apparently it's to get things off the end of drive shafts. That's what the guy told me there. And what we're going to be using it for is to pull off some of the bushing. So I've seen this online. I did some research before I'm actually about to do this thing for once. I usually don't do this, so thank me in the comments for not having such a stupid video. Anyways, and yeah, well, you're going to need one of these. It should make our life a lot easier. So yeah, let's get home and get started on that part. Let's go. All right, so we just got back from Bunnings. Yes, I do not care about the paint. Look at it. Look at all this clear coat peeling. I could not care less. And it is time to try and install these bad boys. So anyways, without any further notice, let's get going. If any of you guys are doing this at home, I'm gonna try to explain this as best as possible. We can figure it out together, and then you guys can go do the exact same thing at home since it's a very common thing in an E46. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is jack up the car. So I'm just gonna go and get some jack stands and my jack, and I'll be back and let's start jacking up this car. As you guys just saw, we went and jacked the car up. So we've gone and now put it on jack stands. Make sure if you're jacking a car up, always put it on jack stands. You don't want it falling on top of you. That wouldn't really be the most fun sort of thing. And now I'm gonna show you guys exactly what we're gonna be changing. So under here, ignore all the oil. I just haven't cleaned it since we fixed the oil leaks. So I've been really lazy, but that little bushing there is the thing we're changing. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it looks like when it is really bad. All right, so I've gone and put you guys on the ground now, and I just want you guys to watch that bushing right there. All right, so I'm just moving this with my hand right now, and as you guys can see, it's wobbling quite a lot. That should never ever happen on a freeway. That is far from good, especially when you're trying to like push your car a little bit. and you have that whenever you go over a bump, that's going to cause a crash. So let's go ahead and change them. Hopefully you guys isn't this bad, but if it is, then please do change them. So some cars will have bash plates. You want to take both of them off. There should be one here and one up there. On my car, it just has this triangular brace bar sort of thing. It is just 4 16mm bolts. There's one there, and 2 here. You want to take it off just so it makes everything easier so you can pull this down. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so now that you guys have either removed your 2 panels underneath the car or your brace mount sort of thing, or whatever it's called, you are now able to take off the bushing. So the bushing is also 16mm. It is only 2 bolts. It is just these 2 bolts right here. I don't know if you guys can see them quite easily. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take both of them off, and I shall see you in 2 seconds. So as you guys just saw, I took off those 2 bolts and this whole section just fell off. So this here is the part we want to change. It shouldn't really be wobbling around like it is here. Which is how you kind of know that it's rooted. So what we want to do now is we want to be able to take this part here off the lower control arm. So let's go ahead and do that now. I reckon I'm just going to get a hammer and just whack the hell out of it and hope for the best. Then we might have to use that little tool I bought. So yeah, let's do that now. So as you guys can see, I belted it a few times and it really hasn't wanted to budge. So that's where I bought this tool for. I've been told online this is probably the best tool we can get to do it. Basically, all we're going to do is quickly put it together, and I'll be back with you in 2 seconds. And boom, just like that, the tool has been made. So basically this tool here is what it does is it grabs onto the outside of the bushing, and then we are able to screw it in, and as it screws in, it pulls out the bushing, because we can screw onto that little knobbly part of the lower control arm. So let's go shut this underneath the car and give it a shot, and fingers crossed it works. Hey, there we go. Alright, so we have gone and completely removed the part that we needed to remove, which is just under there. And now we are on to installing these bad boys. So these are the brand new ones. I'm going to take these out the bag and we're going to install them. It should be relatively easy. All we're going to do is basically bash them back on that thing. They say some soapy water can help you out, so I'm going to do that. And yeah, should be quite easily. You just got to bash them on. And now there is a way to tell which one's which. So don't forget when you take them off, match them up to the ones you took off and put that one on. You don't want to put the ones on the wrong side because they're completely different. So yeah, I'm going to match them up, figure out which one's which, put them on, use some soapy water, and it should be easy as that. Alright, so after a lot of struggle, we've got this to fit. Now all I got to do is attempt to try to make it fit onto this. And yeah, it's definitely a prick of a job. It's not easy, but hopefully we should be able to get it done reasonably quick. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's go. Boom, just like that. She is completely installed. Looks really, really good. Absolutely no play anymore. Like, it's actually like properly awesome. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and install the other side. So it's going to look like from this to this. So as you guys can see, I've gone and done the other side of it too. So everything is completely done now, done both sides. So now there's only really one thing to do. Well, actually no, there's 2 things to do. We've got to put this bar back on, and then we can test drive it. So I'll see you guys inside the car when we take it for its first test drive. So I'm excited because that was horrible. All right, see if we just try to start it. Whee, first try. Now, you guys are on the faulty window, so you guys might go down just a little bit because the window does like to fall down a little bit, but fingers crossed it doesn't. Let's go for its first drive. I can't wait for this. Seriously, I cannot wait. How's it feeling? It already feels better. Like when I turn the steering wheel, it's just 10 times more responsive. Yeah, this feels so much better. Holy. I go over a bump and it doesn't like just wiggle everywhere. That's what it was doing big time the last time I was driving it. Oh, this is 10 times better.
I'm literally deliberately just gonna hit all the bumps. Oh, this is 1,000,000 times better. Now it just feels like I'm just a boat, which is fine because that's a suspension. But oh, this is 10 times better, holy hell.
So I am genuinely so happy because this thing actually drives like it's meant to now. It drives like a car because it's not wobbling around everywhere. That was horrible beforehand. Like you were driving on the highway and the whole wheel was going like this. Every time you went over like the tiniest bump. But now it's just normal. It's doing its normal thing, which is awesome. So I'm ridiculously happy with this car. I think it's gonna come a long way as well. I can't wait to start modifying it. Obviously you have to fix all the things before you can start modifying it. So yeah, that's what we're in the middle of doing. We're getting pretty close to finishing all those things to fix, but yeah, I'm seriously happy about it. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I shall see you guys next video. See you later.